Hey everyone, it's the Bearded Zeno, and pardon the attire, it's really freaking cold. This is going to be my review of Better Call Saul, Episode 3. So, you don't know the way I review stuff, I take notes while watching it, and I run down, the events that happened in that, and give you my thoughts on what happened on those events. Basically, all spoilers ahead. So, if you haven't seen the episode, please don't watch this review. And, yeah, we'll go ahead and get going. Okay. Episode opens with a flashback to the 80s or 90s. I think late 80s or early 90s, because the cell phone. That was a big honker of a cell phone. Who we see Saul is in jail, and Chuck is his lawyer, trying to get him out. He's done something. Apparently he could be convicted as a sex offender. I'm guessing he mooned somebody, or I don't know, something stupid that Saul would do. Or Jimmy would do. But, yeah. And now it jumps to the current time. In the show, Saul is all alone. And he calls Kim and tries to warn her about the $1 million client, which is Craig. And, this ties into last week's episode where Nacho, which is the guy's name, thank you, Macca, for that. He, which also, it's the same guy who plays Vaz in Far Cry 3, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, he calls Kim, who is actually the client who got the case, and she tells, not the client, the representative who got the case, sorry, late night, and he basically tries to warn her that somebody's coming after the money, but then he just like, oh, I'm drunk, don't worry about me. And then he drives off in the middle of nowhere, gets on a payphone, which, I guess this must be at least a few years ago, because payphones don't exist anymore. So this had to be at least early 2000s, at least. But, goes to payphone and he calls Craig, and he, warns them in the sex robot voice, which is a later note, but that's what Kim says, so that's pretty funny. And you see they get really paranoid, and then they see a van sitting outside, and the reveal is that Nacho is driving the van. So, he goes to the next day. There's a bathroom scene where Saul's talking to a fellow lawyer, trying to get him, to work with him on the case and stuff like that. Just give me 90 days and stuff like this. He's like, nope, sorry, can't do that. And then the guy realized he was doing or thinking about a different client. And then Saul basically lost his shit. That was pretty funny. And, where were we? Okay, Saul pisses off Mike at the parking lot. Mike is the parking attendant. And, Kim gives him a call, and he has to rush out he wants to rush out to a crime scene. And, he didn't have time to get those precious stickers that Mike loves. So he's just paying the $9. He's like, I've only got $5. I promise I'll pay you the rest later. And then he just reaches in while Mike is looking away, hits the button to raise the little lever, and he just drives away. So Mike's like, okay, motherfucker, okay. And Craig and his wife and kids are missing, and basically Saul is thinking that, oh shit, Nacho isn't kidnapped these people, and I'm fucked, because he knows, I'm the one who gave him this information, he can take me down, and all that good shit. So he goes to another payphone in the middle of the city to call Nacho. And he calls him, and 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 calls him. I'm guessing, it doesn't really show this in the show, but I'm guessing he at least collectively calls him at least 30 times. So he gets fed up, and he's just sitting on the curb. Then the phone rings. He answers it, there's no answer, then hangs up. He's like, oh shit, this is bad. Somebody knew I was here, they were checking to see if I was here, and they're coming for me. So he gets in his car won't start. He looks in his rearview mirror, sees somebody walking up the street, come towards him. They look very suspicious. He looks in front of him, sees somebody walking towards the street towards him, so he's like, oh shit, get cool, get cool. He gets out of his car, and you see it walking, 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 turns the corner and starts running, and then you see those two men chase him down. And then a cop car meets him halfway in the alley. He's like, oh thank God, help me, help me. And then turns out the other guys were undercover cops, and he gets arrested. Which brings me to my next point. Nacho has been arrested for the disappearance of Craig and his family. He thinks Saul set him up, with good reason, of course, because Saul was the only other person who knew his plan. And basically, he has to try and convince Nacho that he didn't set him up, and he also has to try and convince the police that Nacho didn't do it. So, they go to the victim's house, and they try to find any more kind of evidence to say that, you know, oh yeah, these people are either still alive or, you know, that Nacho didn't do it. And he finds that the little girl's doll is missing. And, you know, Saul immediately comes with a theory like they kidnapped themselves. They faked their own kidnapping and they're just hiding out somewhere. Of course, you know, he naturally thinks they crossed the border. So, yeah, he tries to convince the cops to do all that good stuff. And, that's when he takes Kim out back, and she brings up the sex robot voice, which was funny. And Saul confesses to her, tells her what exactly is going on and all that shit. And that's how he definitively knows that Nacho didn't do it. And then he has to go back to the courthouse to talk to Nacho. Mike gets his revenge by not letting him in, and he basically just fucking manhandles Saul. Go into the courtroom, or yeah, the courthouse, and Saul's sitting on the bench. Two police officers are trying to convince Mike to press charges on him so they could basically squeeze Saul in a corner and force him to cooperate with their case, which Saul was already cooperating. And when they come up to tell him that, Mike's sitting there, Saul tells him, no, my client didn't do this. This family kidnapped themselves. You trust me, I know. And then you can see it in Mike's face that he instantly believes him. He's like, I've seen this shit before. I know exactly what he's talking about. So Mike says, no, I don't want to press charges. So the cops immediately get pissed off at him. They walk away. Mike goes down the stairs. Saul confronts him, and Mike tells him a story about how he'd seen this back before when he was working on a job, you know, as a cop. And a bookie had stole $6 million in Super Bowl bets, and he just hid 2 blocks away. So that immediately gave Saul, like, hey, maybe they're hiding by their house. So he goes to the house and he sees they got a camping sticker on the back of their van. So he immediately thinks, camping. Oh, they like camping. So he walks out of the back of the house, walks for, you know, at least a couple miles into the desert/wilderness behind their house and finds them camping. They're just singing campfire songs. So he's like, phew, this is easy. Goes in there, finds me, oh, here's Johnny. That was funny. That was really funny. And basically tells him, no, it's over, you're caught. No, we gotta go back. Now, people already know that I found you, so we gotta go back. And he starts tugging on a bag with his wife, or Craig's wife, and it rips open, all the money falls out. You're like, well, Saul's been right this entire time that they actually did steal the money. So, but you know, if you're going to hide in the woods, pretty sure that you're guilty anyways. But that's where the episode ends, and I've got to say that was a fantastic episode. And, you know, it kept me guessing the entire time, you know, like, oh shit, did Nacho do it? All this good stuff. How is Saul going to get out of this? Are they going to find the people? And it's just a really good kind of television that I think, you know, Breaking Bad used to deliver, and now Better Call Saul should be delivering. And I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10. This is the first 10 that I think Better Call Saul has got. I think this episode was, you know, perfect because it's delivered everything it's need to so far. So, yeah, it kept me excited the entire time. It kept me going and engrossed. So, yeah, definitely 10 out of 10 for this episode. Hopefully the rest of this season can be this good, because I really did enjoy this 3rd episode. But, anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like I said, I apologize for my attire, but it's really freaking cold. So, yeah, any questions, comments, or concerns, leave in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode of Better Call Saul. And I'll see you in the next video.